Okay guys, Rooster here in Tennessee, and going to look at a specialty item, I guess you'd say. That's these one-to-one Baluns, and chances are if you see this and you know what it is, or you're looking for one of these, then you kind of already know how they operate, so I'm going to keep it kind of brief, the purpose of these. Obviously a specialty item that not everybody is going to need, just applies to certain situations. But it is antenna season. People are changing antennas, upgrading antennas, fixing problems that they have. You know, I fall into that category myself. About getting ready to do a big antenna swap. So Joe the Grinder made these. These are made by Joe the Grinder, custom made. They are rated. I'm going to rate them conservatively. Anybody else is probably going to rate these higher than this, but I'm going to rate them pretty conservatively. I'm going to say around 15 kW average, up to 35,000 watts peak is the rating on these. They have been tested at way more than that, and depending on how you talk, how you run your station, they can probably take more than that. Like I said, that's a conservative safe rating for these, and most people are probably going to rate them higher than that. So you know, obviously if you're keying 20,000 watts every time you key up and you're long-winded, it's, you know, they're probably not going to last as long as somebody that keys 15K or you know, keys 20 and talks, you know, doesn't stay keyed up forever. But 15 kW, very safe rating on these as far as average power. They'll take that all day long, and 35,000 plus peak. Okay, so the purpose of these things, I'm not going to get into a whole lot of antenna theory and all that. I'm not an antenna expert. I don't pretend to be. Not a genius on that stuff by any means. But I will tell you just the basics of these. Basically, if you're running a hairpin style matching system, or a direct fed, and when I say direct fed, I mean you're hooking directly to the driven element of your antenna, of your beam, you're going to need some sort of Balun or choke to eliminate common mode current, especially if you're running high levels of power. It shows up more when you're running a high amount of RF. And you're running like 500 watts, you're probably never going to have an issue with it, or may be able to get by. Some people can run a lot and get by, but more times than not, if you try to run a direct fed antenna system, or even a hairpin match system, if you don't use a Balun of some sort, you're going to have problems. So how do these hook up? Well, you'll fasten it to the boom right here. I've got them turned around different ways so you can kind of see every angle of them here. On this side, you've got your input connector, the 7/16 DIN. You would run your main feed line to it, your rotor loop, or what have you, however you're doing that. So it would come in right here. You've got your copper straps right here, and they would go to these terminals on this side, and then you would come out of here and go to your matching system, whether that's you're going directly to the driven element, hairpin, what have you. But that's pretty much it. I mean, they're pretty simple. They eliminate common mode current. They work. I ran one just like one of these for about 3 or 4 years, and I was testing it with about 20 kW average when I was running mine. I ran it about 3 years. But like I said, I'm rating them at 15K average, 35,000 PEP. I know somebody's probably watching that saying, that's crazy. Nobody's out there running that kind of power. You would be surprised. There are a lot of people running high power levels right now, and there's a demand for these. So I know, you know, there's some guys out there, several, I should not anybody specific, but they're out there selling these direct fed antennas. Some people are, and they say, oh, you don't need a Balun. You don't need a Balun. People go home, they run it, and hook it up, and they end up frying the jacket on their coax. They're having coax is getting real hot, having issues with that, and that's a symptom of common mode current. So how do you eliminate that? You run one of these guys. I'm going to put these up on the website. They'll probably be under the antenna section, roostercb.com, and try to keep some of these available. I've got a limited amount right now. I've had a lot of people message me about these over the last year. Seems like at least once a week. Somebody asked me when I'm going to have these. So got with Grinder, and he assembled some, and hopefully be able to keep some of these available. But like I said, a limited amount right now. I don't have like piles of these sitting here. So there you go. You can hear the ferrite in there. That's it, guys. 1-to-1 JTG Built Balun helps eliminate common mode current. You guys have a good one. Rooster in Tennessee. See you. Bye.